Well, a cold day in Cleveland. The wind chill factor at 12 degrees at kickoff. So, as you might suspect, both teams deciding to run the football. These people might want to run to Florida, where it's a lot warmer right now. Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan, and both teams did want to run the football. And so far, both teams have run the football rather well.
Well, they have. And for Carolina, it's been D. Brown who has really run the football well today. 14 carries, 87 yards. And this is what Carolina needed, Kurt. And he's given them the opportunity to get some third and shorts. They've done good in time of possession. And, hey, really, this is the first in 7 weeks that they've really run the ball with any success, and it's paying off on the scoreboard.
Well, they lost Lamar Smith through that DUI arrest on Thanksgiving Day, but they may have found themselves a more than capable substitute. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns kind of found their running game a couple of weeks ago, back-to-back 100-yard offensive performances for them, and they just carried it over in the first half today.
And William Green has been the guy the last couple of weeks that's really started to settle into this offense, and they started him out right away, getting him out in space and making some guys miss. He's a tough runner. He's got 71 yards on the day today, and has really done a good job.
Oh, the way William Green was running, it looked like the Cleveland Browns might have the advantage with all the weapons they have on offense. But as we take a look at the halftime stats, you'll see turnovers and missed field goals that really turned out to be the difference.
That's the one right there for the Cleveland Browns, the 2 turnovers. Obviously, Carolina doesn't have any, but as you see highlighted there, the 2 missed field goals in the win by Shane Graham. The first one was blown out. The second one was blocked by Gerard Warren right up the middle for Cleveland.
So we get ready to start the third quarter. Cleveland will receive first, trailing it 7-3. And if you're Cleveland, you're probably thinking, just keep doing what we did the first half without the turnovers. Tim Couch played pretty well in the first half, 4 of 8 in the passing department, and trying to warm those hands up as he tries to improve on that 50% completion percentage. He also did throw the 1 interception that led to the only touchdown so far in this game. And you heard Jimmy Johnson at halftime saying he wonders whether or not Couch is really a big-time quarterback in this league. What do you think?
Well, I think he's finally got some weapons, and I think he's going to prove to some people that he is. I mean, I don't think he's done what they've expected him to do here in the last 3 years. Before it's all said and done, Kurt, with these receivers, I think he'll be okay.
And Todd Sauerbrunn kicks this one off out of bounds, and this is a problem he has had all season long.
Especially in a game like this, I mean, when you are playing a ball control, field possession game, it's real tough on your defense to come out with a short field behind him.
It gives Cleveland the ball at the 40-yard line.
Absolutely. You see what Tim Couch has done passing by distance, and under 10 yards, 4 of 6. Not a lot of stuff going long, and certainly, as you see with all the zeros, not a lot of completions. And I think right now it's been a situation, Kurt, where the running game has been so good, he's only got 8 attempts in the first half of this game.
Why bother if you're running the ball like they did in the first half for 110 yards as a team?
Exactly.
Starting at the 40, they pitch it to William Green, who starts the second half off running, and this time Terry Cousin was ready, stopping him for a gain of 2 yards.
Second half has been brutal for the Carolina Panthers all year long. I mean, really. Look at what happened last week. 28 points in the first half. I mean, it was 28-0 at halftime. Vic made them look stupid. Today, only 3 points, and they're in this football game, Kurt. With the type of team that they have, this is how they need to play, close to the vest.
In fairness, their defense, one was an interception that was returned for a touchdown. So they only gave up 21. Yeah, that's the difference. Couch, quick pass out to Kevin Johnson, and he is hit by Dante Wesley. No flags on the play.
And the crowd doesn't like it here. Like Dante Wesley from up here timed it just perfect. Coming over the top of Kevin Johnson. See here on the left side of your screen, he's just going to run a slant. And let's see if Wesley gets there early. Looked okay to me.
Well, especially, you know, we're taking a look at it in slow motion. Yeah. And in slow motion, we can't figure it out. So live action, I think you got to look at it and say, no flag was the right call.
Good play, Dante Wesley.
On third down, they need the 50. Couch. Complete. Kevin Johnson, good enough for the first down. 17 yards on the pass play.
That's the middle part of the field, Kurt, where they've really been attacking when they've had the passing game working. Kevin Johnson here, and watch him get to the middle of the field. As the Panthers come with a corner blitz on the other side, he'll just sit down in the soft spot of that zone. And a good throw from Tim Couch, keeping it nice and low for Kevin Johnson to go get it.
Johnson has been Couch's go-to guy every season. And this year they finally got a couple of guys who have stepped up to help him out. Off the play fake. Couch ducks it off and through the hands of William Green, incomplete.
Kurt, that's an area that William Green wants to improve in. And he's been working hard, extra time after practice, going out and catching balls. I believe, only 3 receptions coming into this game out of the backfield. And you look at the other running back they have in Jamel White, and Jamel's a third-down specialist, but he's got 46 grabs. This guy here, William Green, needs to become a more viable receiver out of the backfield. That's part of his game that he'll look to improve on as his career goes on.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Handoff taken by Green. Well, he runs it a lot better than he catches it. Picks up 3 yards on that one. Reggie Howard on the stop.
Reggie Howard saves him here because this is the 2nd time we've seen it. Watch how far Peppers is going to get up the field and open a huge lane there. And you can see he's way up here and he's off to the races. Then Howard comes up and makes a good tackle, keeping it for a minimal gain. But you can't do that, Kurt, if you're a defensive end, especially on 1st and 2nd down, flying up the field like that, giving up that big draw lane.
Well, Cleveland calls the timeout on a 3rd and long situation right now. Couch talking things over with his head coach, Butch Davis. On a 3rd down situation for Tim Couch and the Browns, and they're missing a key weapon in Dennis Northcutt, who has not come out of the locker room at halftime. They say he's got a bad knee, and his return right now is questionable. Browns need the 29 to keep the drive going. Couch over the middle of the field, picked off. Emmanuel McDaniel with the interception. 2nd pick of the day by the Carolina defense. 3rd turnover by Cleveland.
Boy, did Couch force that one in there, Kurt. Perfect coverage by Emmanuel McDaniel, and Tim Couch just lets it fly. Here's the pick by McDaniel. Cover 2 as the safeties are back, but you've got press up front. Everybody is pressed. And watch Kevin Johnson get out, and it's going to be double coverage with the safety Minter over the top. Terrible decision by Tim Couch to throw that football right into the teeth of the coverage. McDaniel picks it off.
Carolina takes over at the 31. D. Brown bottled up at the line of scrimmage, half a yard if anything.
And here's KJ right here, and he's going to run and just try to get to a post. But look at the coverage by Emmanuel McDaniel. He is with them every step of the way. KJ turns and looks at the quarterback. That's McDaniel's cue to do the same thing, and he gets the interception. And the turnovers today have been terrific for the Carolina Panthers. Look at that.
Been terrific in every game they've won, just the opposite when they've lost. Pete has time. Throws it in the direction of Muhammad. He's covered by Anthony Henry, incomplete.
Good protection by that offensive line. Really, it's led by Todd Stussy there, Kurt, the left offensive tackle, a couple of Pro Bowls when he was in Minnesota. Really had a tough game last week against the Atlanta Falcons. And he knew coming into today that they would have to be better up front in their pass protection, and did some technique stuff, working on his stance and some different things. And so far in this game today, he and the rest of those big boys up front for Carolina have protected their quarterback.
As the Panthers are trying to stop an 8-game losing streak. On 3rd down, they need the 41. Pete up top. Muhammad made the catch, but he's going to be about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
Rodney took a hit that time from Courtney Brown, but who is coming from the left side, not over Todd Stussy. Here you'll see Stussy. He's going to be blocking Mark Word. Good job riding him by the quarterback. But again, the pressure was over Melvin Tootin, the right offensive tackle, as Courtney Brown got in Rodney's face in a hurry.
Andre Davis back to take the punt with Dennis Northcutt still out with that injury. Todd Sauerbrunn with a booming kick, backs Davis up all the way to the 12, and he stepped out of bounds. So the Browns will take over deep in their own territory at the 10-yard line. Butch Davis's Cleveland Browns came in a half game behind Pittsburgh in the AFC North standings. Right now, Pittsburgh leading Jacksonville 16-10 in the third quarter, while Cleveland has really struggled since their opening possession in this ball game against Carolina.
Yeah, look at that. The 3 turnovers have killed them. And if you're going to make a playoff push, Kurt, you got to play some better football than they've showed here today.
William Green, gain of 3. Shane Burton, the first guy in Carolina white to hit him.
Let's give that defense for Carolina a little bit of credit. I think people forget them losing 8 in a row. They are the number 6 ranked defense.
Despite losing 8 in a row.
Exactly, in the National Football League. And they were embarrassed last week. I mean, you look at those guys up front, and 426 yards by the Atlanta Falcons, the most all year. And that group of defensive linemen up front took it personal and wanted to redeem themselves this afternoon.
3 wide receivers for Cleveland. They fake the handoff. Green makes the catch out of the backfield and has running room. This time, William Green is going to pick up 14 yards and a first down. Will Witherspoon on the tackle.
Tim Couch, that's where he's improved, is going to his checkdowns, getting rid of the football and knowing where to go with it, and feels real comfortable knowing that he can just check this down to William Green. As you see Green leak out of the backfield. Here's what I like about William Green. Watch him put his head down. I'm just going to get what I can out of this, put my head down and take on 3 guys.
Not shy about contact. Jamel White now in at tailback. Couch to White out of the backfield. It's snipped out by Mike Minter, who breaks it up for an incompletion.
What a play by Mike Minter. There's a guy that has a nose for the football, Kurt.
17 tackles in that game last week against Atlanta.
Yeah, and in Tampa the week before, and you'll see him here, and watch him sniff this screen out and get up and try to slip between the blockers and get on Jamel White. That's just terrific recognition and then making his mind up to go get it. Mike Minter, almost 600 tackles for the Carolina Panthers. One of the originals, Kurt.
Has an interception today that led to the only touchdown so far. That's William Green cutting back, staying on his feet. Pickup of 8 yards. Chris Jenkins on the tackle. But more dynamics from the guy who is becoming a dynamic rookie.
Yeah, he is, and this is his ability to cut back. He's going to start over here and then watch him get right back into the hole. Right by, and then Minter will miss the tackle this time. I mean, there's Mike Minter, misses the tackle, and William Green picks up 6 more yards. That's that leg strength, Kurt. That's that 610-pound squat in high school in a meet that you see there out there on the field. You don't arm tackle this guy.
3rd and 2. Couch under pressure from Julius Peppers and gets rid of the football, and Peppers doesn't get the sack.
He wants, just give me number 13. Give me number 13. Julius Peppers can dominate a football game.
No love been given out on this one.
Not at all, and you're not going to block him with a tight end or a running back. William Green absolutely whiffs right there, and time to steer wrestle Tim Couch and get him to the ground. Look at the strength by Peppers just to hang on.
So Chris Gardocki comes on to punt to Steve Smith. The short kick, but it takes a Cleveland roll. So the punt by Gardocki, 37 yards is Julius Peppers, and this Carolina defense stops Cleveland once again. Julius Frazier Peppers, named after Julius Erving and Walt Frazier.
Yeah. Well, and if you saw him play basketball in North Carolina, you know why. What a phenomenal athlete.
Well, he's turned out to be a pretty good football player in this his rookie season. 12 sacks and leading the NFL. D. Brown with the run for Carolina on offense. Picked up 3 yards.
And if I was Bruce Arians and the Cleveland Browns, I would not block Julius Peppers like this. First they try to block him with Campbell, the tight end, and then they try to bring a tailback in William Green to come up and get him. Neither one of those guys has a chance. That would not be my game plan as far as protection goes to try to block Julius Peppers. And you can see where all the pressure has come. It's been right over here on Tim Couch, right where Julius Peppers is.
Second down for the Panthers. The pitch to Brown, who loses the football, scoops it up, and has nowhere to run. Loses 3 yards on the play. Gerard Warren in there for the tackle, and Kennard Lang in this Browns defense feeling a little pumped right now.
Rodney just going to toss this out. D. Brown just takes his eyes off the football and just flat out drops it. And then you'll see all the pursuits. Look at all the orange jerseys coming over to D. Brown, and Kennard Lang loves this stuff.
Well, as we said, the one touchdown they've allowed has been on a short field after an interception.
Yep. Randy
Fasani now in at quarterback on 3rd and long. They have to get it to the 36. Fasani throws that one in the ground in the direction of Muhsin Muhammad, incomplete.
Like he had him. I mean, that's what you do with Randy Fasani, Kurt. You run the edge plays, you get him rolling out to the right, had his tight end or had his receiver, and then just throws it in the ground. Not a good throw. Say that play. Good legs, bad arm.
Todd Sauer going on to punt. Andre Davis back deep. This is going to be significantly shorter as Davis takes it on the run. Steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 36 on the punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Cleveland Browns trying to get their offensive engine going, but Carolina has done just as much as they can to stall him so far.
At least they've got a chance with Julius Peppers now over on the sideline. Al Wallace in the game for Carolina, giving Julius a breather.
They start just across the 45. William Green back on the flea flicker to Couch. With time, Quincy Morgan, the intended receiver, batted away by Deion Grant.
How about that? 2 flea flickers in one game. Each team gives it a shot. What a play by Deion Grant. You see Tim Couch is going to hand this off to William Green, turn around, toss it back to the flea flicker. Now Morgan takes off. Couch tries to hit him for everything, and look at Deion Grant just go up and bat that down. Great play by Deion Grant. First of all, not getting sucked up in the play action with William Green getting the ball and then getting back in coverage and getting the big breakup.
Staying step for step with Morgan. The pitch, this time Green holds on to it. Kind of shuffles around and winds up losing half a yard on the play. Reggie Howard on the tackle.
Browns had a lot of success running the ball early in this game. Since then, Carolina's done a pretty good job, and you see left, middle, and right, more to the left and middle, but it doesn't really matter. The first half, William Green was able to run just about anywhere he wanted, but again, Carolina adjusted at halftime. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter and have been pretty stiff.
Julius Peppers now in on 3rd down. Browns need to get it to the 44. Here comes the blitz. That ball batted by Peppers, and it falls incomplete.
Kurt, tell me he's not an impact player. It doesn't matter if he's getting sacks or if he's getting hurries or if he's just batting down balls. Heck, he's got an interception this year as well. Watch him get the push on Ryan Tucker and then get the hands up and knock that ball down.
First 3 and out of the day for Cleveland's offense.
This guy's still learning the game, Kurt. Wait till he actually picks up on the game and knows what he's doing out there. It'll be crazy.
Gardaki's punt picked up by Steve Smith. Steve Smith won't have much on the return there.
With the way that defense is played down in Philly, I don't know it really matters who they have right now at quarterback. If you look at the NFC playoff picture, and of course everybody now is going to be, all these people fighting for 2 wild card spots. As you see, division winners up at the top, if indeed that's how it turns out. A lot of football left.
Carolina starting at the 24-yard line. Brad Hoover, and he will be close to a first down as he rumbled right through the line. Pickup of 9 yards on the play, and Hoover coming in something of a change of pace back with them missing Lamar Smith today.
Why not give him the football? He's averaged over 5 yards a carry on the season. I remember a couple of years ago he came in a game, had to start, ended up having a great football game.
Monday night game in Green Bay.
That's right, in Green Bay. Played great for the Carolina Panthers. He's a good football player, and I like what Carolina has done today, keeping the defense off balance.
You see better than their season average already running the football, and Hoover again, this time will be across the first down marker as he picks up a yard. Al McKinley, the one-time Carolina Panther, with a stop.
This O-line, you know they want to redeem themselves today, Kurt. The performance they had last week against Atlanta really had to be the worst performance in a couple of years by those guys up front. Talked to Todd Stussy last night. We talked to several of those O-linemen as the year has progressed, and I know coming into this game today they really wanted to set the tone, mash people up front, and they've done a good job.
8 sacks allowed against the Falcons, none so far against Cleveland. First down at the 35. The pitch, D. Brown, and he's going to throw, and he overthrows it. Picked up, Corey Fuller with the interception.
Oh, boy. Sometimes you get an old quarterback, Kurt, and he thinks he can throw the football no matter what. D. Brown was a high school quarterback. He's going to get the toss. Receiver is covered so tight, he's just going to let it fly. He figures he's going to give Muhsin Muhammad a chance in double coverage and throws it right to Corey Fuller, who actually lays out backwards and makes a big-time catch. That is a crucial turnover at this point of the game.
Well, Carolina's offense had methodically marched up and down the field. Hadn't gotten a lot of points, but control the clock. Right now, though, their first turnover gives the ball to Cleveland at the 30-yard line. William Green with the short run. Mark Fields on the stop.
At least they're getting one back for their offense, who's had their own miscues today. As you see there, the interception from Mike Minter. The fumble here by Northcutt, who hasn't been back in the football game with a knee injury, and then the missed field goal by Phil Dawson. So they've had their share of miscues as well for the Cleveland Browns.
On second down, Couch under pressure, a hit as he throws, and that one falls incomplete. And, you know, we've seen that several times today, that just as he throws the ball, Couch has gotten hit, including on that interception that we just showed by Mike Minter.
Good pressure up front by Carolina. Let's not forget, this is #1 sack crew in the NFL. Look at Taves just absolutely bull rush Barry Stokes right back to the lap of Tim Couch. Quarterbacks hate that. When they're back there in their drop back, and their offensive guard, Kurt, is getting basically picked up in forklift right to their lap, makes it real difficult for them. Big play by Josh Taves.
Couch just 2 for 10 here in the second half. Movement on the right side of the offensive line as Ryan Tucker got an early start.
That's going to go against Ryan Tucker there. As
prior to the snap, false start, 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
The guy
I'm not so sure that Peppers didn't pull him off here. Watch and see who moves first. Oh, they both moved at the same time. That's going to go to the offense every time before the snap count. And for all the talk that Tucker did during the week, Kurt, not even help with Julius Peppers, he's going to need some help in this second half. Peppers has had a good game.
That's the first accepted penalty against Cleveland today. Couch from the shotgun. Screen pass. Out to Jamal White with blockers. White finally wrestled to the ground by Al Wallace.
Looked like he would have had the first down, Kurt, if he'd have just kept going upfield.
See where they marched the forward progress, because he was thrown backwards by Wallace as he made the tackle, and we see them marching it off a couple of steps, but looks like he's going to fall about a yard short.
He would have just kept going up the field there. He would have had the first down. He tries to cut it back, ends up taking a couple of yards loss, and now they don't get the first down, and injured Panther down on the field. Looks like Chris Jenkins is the guy that's hurt. Came in with a bad ankle anyway into this game. There he is pursuing to the football, big 77. Like Ryan Tucker just hit him and goes down.
And Jenkins has yet to get up as they're taking a look at him on the field.
He's really been a force this year for Carolina inside, has Chris Jenkins.
Really has. 7 sacks from that defensive tackle position, but just as good against the run as well. Here's a guy who continues to develop in his second season with the Carolina Panthers.
You can see the size of him.
Yeah.
The guy's 340 pounds, and he's athletic.
All right, JB, Chris Gardocki on the punt for Cleveland here. Fair catch called for and made. That's Isaac Bird after the 32-yard kick. Well, last week, going into the game against Atlanta, Chris Terry was released and Steve Smith was suspended. They came out, lost 41-0. This week on Thursday, leading rusher Lamar Smith had a DUI on Thanksgiving Day and was given a leave of absence for the rest of the year, and the team seems to be responding a lot better this time around.
Yeah, they are. And D. Brown has done a good job, but over 900 total yards for Lamar Smith. He will be missed as the rest of the season goes on. But D. Brown has filled in quite admirably here today, as you see.
First down from the 29. Pete pulls it down. All kinds of time as he throws it, and it's intercepted. After being batted in the air, Earl Little pulled it down. Back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back possessions for this Cleveland defense.
Wesley Walls wants a flag. He doesn't like it, but Earl Little, with his 4th interception, Kurt, on the year, goes up and gets that tipped ball on another crucial turnover against Carolina. See Rodney escape the traffic there, get out of the pocket. Now he's going to try to fire it to Wesley Walls, who thought Earl Holmes was all over his back. Of course, Earl tipped it up, and he's got quite a valid point. Earl Holmes is all over him. To me, that looks like interference.
No flag forthcoming.
Big turnover for that Browns defense.
Give the offense the ball at the 36. Couch, pump fake, over the middle, overthrown, incomplete. Darnell Sanders, the intended receiver. That ball just simply thrown too high.
Yeah.
And Couch's problems continue here in the second half. He has completed 1 pass in his last 14 attempts.
Looks like he's pressing here, Kurt. He had Sanders wide open in the soft zone and just basically let it fly. You're the #1 pick in the draft, and you're Tim Couch. You're the franchise. You got to make that throw. See if Carolina can do a good job again coming in sudden change.
William Green being stopped after a pickup of 2 yards on the play by Mike Rucker.
Look what Tim Couch has done here today. In the first half, came out and actually got things going pretty good with the running game, had the balance. And then you can see a 4 of 8, 42, but here in the second half, only 3 of 12. Some of that's been good pressure, and some of that's just been bad throws from Tim Couch.
Right now, he needs a big play on 3rd down. They have to get it to the 26-yard line to keep the drive going. Whistles blow, and
Tucker
down.
again.
And he's the guy that Julius Peppers has been right over all game long.
Snap, false start, 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
See, that's why you never talk, I think, in the week to give the other team some bulletin board material. He's just ahead of the snap count there, and he is thinking way too much now.
Get you off your game sometime?
Absolutely.
Because you want to prove that what you said was right?
Yep, absolutely. And he's coming out here, and you've seen on the false starts for Ryan Tucker. I mean, a couple of times, he's just jumping the snap count because he wants so hard to get the edge on Julius Peppers, and Peppers has just been by him a few times today.
So now it's 3rd and 12. Couch under pressure, gets rid of it, and completes it. Good enough for the first down. Kevin Johnson down to the 24-yard line, 14 yards on the play.
What a beautiful little move. Couch in the pocket. But look at KJ, who's now become Kevin Johnson, the possession receiver. He's going to do a square in against the zone. Couch able to make a move in the pocket and then get it to him before Mike Minter could come up and converge on the hit.
William Green now back in at tailback on 1st down. Takes the handoff. Nowhere to go, so he heads back and runs out of territory. Brian Allen in on the tackle, as the Carolina defense just bottled him up from the start on that one.
Chris Jenkins back in the football game, and tell you, when you run away from Julius Peppers, you've got to put 2 guys on him. I mean, a lot of times what they'll do with Peppers is they'll run at him, because when you run away from him, he is so fast coming down the line of scrimmage that he can get in on the plays from the backside. There they use both the tackle and a tight end to try to keep him at bay.
Green goes in motion on second down. Couch. Out of the backfield, that's the tight end, Steve Hayden. Will Witherspoon with the tackle there, but give Hayden 6 more yards.
This is an area of the field that's really been open all day long. It's just when Cleveland decides they want to go to it, they can't. Remember, backup linebackers out there today, and Will Witherspoon and Brian Allen for the Carolina Panthers. And these are the 2 guys right here. And this is the area that's really been open all day long. You'll see the tight end just get behind the line of scrimmage and just kind of slip in front of Will Witherspoon there and get the football.
A 3rd and short. They need the 13-yard line for the first down. Couch. Quick pass. Oh, what a hit. Jamel White caught it out of the backfield, but Reggie Howard laid him out a couple of yards shy of that first down. Reggie Howard with another big stop on 3rd.
And that is huge. A 3rd down play down in the red zone, and you come up and lay out and make a tackle like that. That's a big-time play by Reggie Howard.
And Cleveland calls its 2nd timeout to stop the clock with 11 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland used a timeout and now are going for the field goal. And, you know, all the problems in the first half, both field goal attempts attempted by both teams at the opposite end were missed. You wonder if they didn't use the timeout to make sure they got to kick this way with the wind at their backs.
And smart move. You're sitting at 4th and 3. You got to get yourself some points here in this ball game.
33-yard attempt by Dawson, who missed his first in the first half. This one is up, and it is good. And so Dawson gets his 2nd field goal of the day, the only points Cleveland has so far, but it's just a 1-point game. Tim Couch struggling on the day, but led him to a field goal after the turnover this time.
And found a little something, I think. Back to the middle of the field with his running backs and tight ends.
Well, you find out what your quarterbacks and all your players are made of on days when they struggle.
Yep.
If they can still come through, and he has the Cleveland Browns down by just 1 point here as we get towards the end of the 3rd quarter.
Kurt, and hasn't played particularly well today, but really feels this year is finally playing, at least over the last month, playing football the way that they want him to play, the way they drafted him to play, and really the way that he expects to play.
Well, as I say, I think this is the first year you can fairly evaluate him. His, rookie season, he was a rookie quarterback starting in the National Football League on an expansion team. Year 2, he missed 7 games with a bad thumb. Last year, new coaching staff, so new offense is like being a rookie again. This year, finally some experience and in a system for a couple of years.
And got the weapons. I remember before it was always Kevin Johnson. When he was throwing the football, it was going to Kevin Johnson. Now he's got a host of guys he can spread it around to.
The wind has blown the football off the tee twice. That's what the delay is so far. And you see Couch was 3 or 4 on that last drive, leading them to the field goal.
And doing a good job of moving around in that pocket and stepping up. I mean, that's one thing that he didn't do earlier in the game when all the pressure was in his face, was those little subtle movements in the pocket to find some open lanes. He did it on that drive and was able to complete some balls.
So Lewis Sanders will hold the kickoff, and Dawson boots it. Isaac Bird. Bird's going to be stopped right at the 30-yard line, 15 yards on the return on what is the final play of the 3rd quarter. Just a 33-yard field goal by Phil Dawson is all we saw as far as scoring, but it's a close game, 7-6 Carolina. Another week of Thanksgiving Classics sponsored by the NFL, and Kurt Menefee, Tim Ryan with you, and a little Harry Potter magic going on maybe? That's what the Cleveland Browns fans are hoping for. And
is that Fluffy?
Yeah, from Harry Potter. He was the one that was guarding the Sorcerer's Stone. Come on, man. You got to be into it. First down from the 30. Brad Hoover bounces it outside, stays alive, and picks up 7 yards. Well, we talk about Thanksgiving classics so far. You know, it's a new stadium, second version of the Browns, and a new team, so to speak, in Carolina. But this is classic football. Cold weather, run, run, run.
No, it's beautiful, and really one of the most exciting Decembers for the Cleveland Browns in a long time. I mean, December in Cleveland used to be great when you had Cleveland football. And since they've been back here in 1999, this is the first opportunity, Kurt, that they have a real opportunity, as I said, to push into the playoffs.
Starting today, a half game out of first place in the AFC North. That's Hoover. This time, no gain on the play. Take a look at our stats through the first 3 quarters.
And you can see here, I mean, everything's pretty even in terms of total yards. A few more there for the Browns, but first half, the Browns had the turnovers. The Panthers didn't have any. Second half here, 2 turnovers. The Browns back up in this game.
Oh, Carolina got 7 points off the turnovers, and Cleveland used the turnover in the second quarter to pick up 3 more.
Yep. And the Panthers offensively, Kurt, have been so much better today at giving their quarterbacks some protection.
3rd and a yard. D. Brown gets a first down and more out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 6. D.
Brown, Kurt, gets his first start today, and look at the sense of urgency that he runs the football with. I mean, he is up in that hole. There is no tiptoeing around in the backfield. He sees a gap, and he goes and gets it. And it's been a big reason why he's up around the 100-yard mark already.
So far, 94 yards on 18 carries. First down, Panthers at the 45. Brown again. More running room. Into Cleveland territory. 15 yards on the run by D. Brown, and he goes over the 100-yard mark for the first time in his NFL career.
What a great job by the left side of that line, kicking everybody down, and then watch the guys pulling, and the fullback comes up and seals, and then watch D. Brown use his block there by Hoover. Hoover gets the linebacker turned in, and then D. Brown is just off to the races. Huge hole for number 22 to get up in there and bust one out. He likes that straight arm, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He'll throw that right out at you.
They see the difference a week makes for the Panthers offense.
Heck, 122 yards last week. They had more in interception return yards for Atlanta.
Well, it kind of helps when D. Brown is running like he is today. He picks up 3 more yards. He's now got 113 yards on the ground.
And a whole different mentality in a game like today than last week, where they were down and just don't match up well against Atlanta. This is their kind of game. They can come out and run the football, play good defense, get after the quarterback, and really mirrors the style of that head coach, John Fox.
On second down. Brown again. Well, he's become a workhorse, but this time it didn't work as he loses a yard. Courtney Brown stops it.
Kurt, you know it's been a long time coming. 8 weeks since this team has won a football game. They started out 3-0. John Fox, even at that point being 3-0, knew that it was going to be a tough year. Losing 7 starters, all the guys they've had on IR. And I can tell you one thing, these players want to go out and win for this guy here. They'd love to play for John Fox. They said he's a player's coach, and more than anything is really, I mean, as a coach, grown up and matured this year. And when you listen to the veteran players on this Carolina team, and they'll tell you to a man that John Fox does not act like a rookie coach.
Oh, they also tell you to a man that last year they won their first game, lost the next 15. This year won the first 3, have lost 8 in a row since then, but they are fighting tooth and nail because of the different guy at head coach. Oh, the Panthers offense in a big 3rd down situation.
Well, this is what happens, Kurt, when D. Brown doesn't get positive yards running the ball. You end up with 3rd and longs, and as you can see there, Carolina has not been real good.
Needing to get it to the 29. Pete steps up, throws, completes to Muhammad, and he got it there all the way down to the 25-yard line. 14 yards on the reception.
Got to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, giving Rodney Peete all the protection but again, only rushing 4 guys. Rod has all day to throw, finds Moose sitting down in the soft zone. As you'll see, he'll just come out here in the cover 2 zone, sit down, and get the football. That is a big-time first down, and John Fox is pumped.
Well, why not? His team gets another set of downs at the 25. The pitch to D. Brown. And Brown going to lose a yard on the play. Let me ask you this. In obvious passing situations today, we haven't seen Cleveland blitz at all.
No, they don't.
Against a team that gave up 8 sacks last week. Would you?
I would. I would blitz Rodney Peete. He's lost most of his mobility as he's in his 14th year. He's got some other health issues. I would get in his face as fast as I could to have him make a decision. That's Coach Fazio, the defensive coordinator. But I can tell you why they don't blitz a lot, Kurt. Earlier in the year, they were bringing a lot of blitzes and gave up way too many big plays. They're playing the old bend but don't break philosophy here.
On 2nd and long, Peete back to pass. D. Brown coming out of the backfield, and he may have heard footsteps coming from Darren Hambrick.
Hambrick had him cornered on the flare route all the way. See, as Rodney's just going to try to fire it out to D. Brown, and Darren Hambrick there the whole way. Former Carolina Panther, that's right.
And so Randy Pisani now comes in at quarterback as Rodney Peete goes out on a 3rd and 11. And you see Pittsburgh leading Jacksonville right now in a game that is important for Cleveland as well. Empty backfield for Pisani. Pulls it down on the draw play. Slips. Well, he had running room, but he slipped and fell. Dwayne Rudd touched him down for the tackle.
To me, that's way too predictable. And Carolina has showed the predictability offensively this year. And you bring in Randy Pisani, and even I could have told you you're going to get a quarterback counter draw here. I mean, he's run that. That's the 3rd time he's run that play out of 4 times being in the game. You'd like to see a little more creativity on the part of Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator for the Panthers.
43-yard field goal attempt by Shane Graham, who is 0 for 2 today. This one he gets up and no trouble getting it through. So Graham now 1 for 3, but more importantly extends the lead to more than a field goal for the Carolina Panthers as they go on top 10-6. All the Cleveland Browns trying to stay in the AFC playoff picture. Right now, they're tied for that final playoff spot. Actually, they're behind because San Diego and Oakland would own the last 2 playoff spots as wild cards. So Cleveland trying to stay in the hunt with those other teams. Andre Davis takes the kickoff. Nothing doing on the return as Damian Richardson brings him down for the tackle. So down by more than a field goal once again. The Cleveland Browns offense takes the ball over at the 26-yard line. Butch Davis and crew, needing a touchdown to win this game against the Carolina Panther team that has dropped 8 in a row. Cleveland came into this one winners of 4 of their last 5.
Still a lot of time left. Kurt can still run the football and stay balanced. Do not have to go directly to the air.
On 1st down. Couch to Green out of the backfield, and William Green holds on to the football out near that 1st down mark.
Back to Kurt and Tim.
Yeah, but JB, Atlanta won in Minnesota when it mattered most in the NFC Championship game back in 1998. William Green. Green picks up 2 yards on the run. Will Witherspoon with the tackle.
Again, stay balanced, run the football, and attack the middle part of the field. Saw him do that on 1st down, and that's where they've had the most success here today, Kurt, is with the checkdowns and with the crossing routes, trying to exploit the middle zone of Carolina where they're down 2 linebackers today. Remember, Hannibal Navies and Dan Morgan, the best linebacker on the team, are both out, and Bruce Arians, the O-coordinator for the Browns, should really try to attack that area.
2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line.
No back.
Green goes out wide to the right. Couch under pressure. Hit as he throws, and that ball comes out. And Carolina scrambling for the football that's still loose. Carolina has recovered.
It's like Deion Grant at the bottom of the pile. take a look at this one and see if indeed his arm was coming forward. Mark Fields, Kurt, coming from the blind side of Tim Couch, and you'll see him here completely unblocked around Ross Burba, and then just puts the knockout shot on Couch. That's a fumble all the way. He was still cocking it back.
I'm sorry, partner. Fourth turnover of the day by this Cleveland Browns offense, and Carolina takes it over once again after the turnover with good field position.
The speed of Mark Fields. You talk about closing the gap in a hurry, and Foxy just loves when these defensive players can step up and make plays. He loves it.
You mentioned the two linebackers that are missing. Fields is the regular who is still in there, and Cleveland has decided to challenge this ball, and you know what? From what we've seen, I think they're going to lose.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, rule the fumble. Is there going to be anything indisputable clearly enough that will overturn this call? I don't think so.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind. 7:42 left in the ball game. Should Cleveland lose this challenge, they will lose a timeout, which is their last timeout.
Which could be huge. And see there in the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh.
But Cleveland would have to play the remainder of this game with no timeouts, trying to play from behind.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, this could end up hurting them here. And they've done excellent on challenges, Kurt. I mean, when they've challenged, they've won most of the time, as you see there. And anytime you can win 62% of your challenges, you're doing a pretty good job.
Take another look at this and see. I mean, when I saw it live, I thought it was a fumble, and the replays have done nothing to change my mind, at least.
The whole key is that right arm, and where it is when he gets hit, I still see it going backwards. That is no doubt that he is still cocking the arm back with the football. Clearly a fumble.
Tim, they fool us every week, but I tell you what, I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that this will stay as called. I tell you what, if they overturn this,
I'll lose my timeout.
Okay,
How about that? I'll give mine up.
I was going to say you'd have to take your jacket off and walk in your shorts all the way around Lake Erie, through Buffalo, Canada, however long it took you.
No, I can't deal with the lake effect, Kurt. You know that.
I don't think you have to worry this time, partner. But once again, Walt Coleman is our referee, and he sticks his head in and checks out the replays, same ones we see at home, and if he sees evidence that proves that this should go another way, then he will change the call. Otherwise, that means if there's any question in his head, or he sees evidence that means that it has to stay the same, then it will indeed stay the same. But it has to be, the key words, indisputable evidence to turn it over.
That's right. How about the big picture, that defense forcing the ball loose again? I mean, that's what they were able to do early in this year when they started out 3-0, and they're doing it again here in this game.
After reviewing the play, the ball came out of the quarterback's hand before his arm was going forward. It is a fumble. First down for Carolina. Cleveland will be charged their third and final team timeout.
Uh-oh.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't think there was any question.
No.
And now, down by 4 points, which means they need a touchdown. They've got to play the last 7 minutes, 42 seconds without a timeout.
Yeah, and that was a reach to challenge that play. I mean, we saw it in regular motion, Kurt, and it looked clearly like a fumble. Saw the replay real quick, and I think a mistake by Butch Davis and his staff to challenge that. As you see, there was 7 minutes left, down 4, a timeout they could sure use later in this game. Look at the turnover ratio for Carolina. The 3 wins plus 7, 8 losses. Of course, 8 in a row, minus 15, and today, plus 2.
And so the Panthers get the ball back at the 40-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Their defense has been huge today, has Carolina. They've come up with 3 sacks and 4 turnovers.
Really impressed, Kurt, with the way this team is responding today with all the distractions and adversity. And D coordinator Jack Del Rio there has got his group playing pretty well.
D Brown on the carry. Only picks up 2 yards, but it keeps the clock ticking with that 4-point lead.
Kurt, last week was a huge game for Cleveland, a real statement game going down to New Orleans and winning this game, winning that game. But you know what? Every week from now on is a huge game for Cleveland when you look at those AFC North standings being a half game behind Pittsburgh.
And as we saw on the scoreboard, Pittsburgh owning a lead in Jacksonville in the 4th quarter. So they're in jeopardy of falling even further behind should they lose this game.
They've got themselves in the fight, Kurt. Let's see if they can stay in the fight for the home stretch.
The pitch to Brown. inbounds. Picks up about 7 yards on the play. Make it 6. And so far, Brown continues to come through running the football for Carolina. He's got 117 yards in his first NFL start.
And he was the wild card coming in. You mentioned he got his first NFL start for Lamar Smith and has run the ball better today than they've run the football in 8 weeks. And talk about a heads-up play for a second-year pro to be over there on the sideline, Kurt, and stay in bounds to keep that clock running. Smart decision by D. Brown, who played a heck of a football game.
3rd and short. They need the 30. Brown again. Cuts back. Scoops underneath. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
He got something out of nothing there, that's for sure. Well played at the point of attack for Cleveland up front, stretching it out.
Well, they ran the same play 3 times in a row and got about 3 yards on each run, but will fall a yard short here on 4th down. Now, if you're Carolina,
no, you got to go. I think you got to go for it. I think you got to go for it. And the wind, the way that it is, what would it be, a 48-yarder?
Right now, ball in the 31. It would be right about 48 yards. They're still in the huddle. The play clock's down inside 5, so they're going to take a timeout and talk about it on the sideline. Second timeout used by Carolina as they try and hold on to this lead in Cleveland. And so it's on Panther quarterback Rodney Peete. With this team really, with the swirling winds here being out of field goal range, it would be about a 48-yard attempt. They need a yard and a little bit more as they have to get it right to the 30-yard line for the first down. D. Brown on the handoff, stutter steps, and gets the first down for Carolina.
Runs right through the tackle of Robert Griffith. And that's one of the better tackling strong safeties in the league, coming up on a second-year pro, getting his first start today, and watch him run right through Robert Griffith and go get the first down. This kid has played a whale of a football game today, Kurt, and has picked up some big positive yards, none bigger than that run right there.
And another change at quarterback for Carolina as they shuttle in Randy Fasani right now on first down.
If they run the quarterback draw here, I'm mad.
Oh, this time they roll him out. Not the quarterback draw, but it's a running play by the quarterback. And guess what? They wind up losing 3 yards on the run. Earl Holmes with the stop. Well, why would you bring him in? As you said before, every time they bring him in, you know they're running the ball, especially the way D. Brown has run today.
Yeah, he has been fantastic, and offensive line has given him some holes, but D. Brown has picked up the big yards when he's had to at crunch time. And I'll tell you, if you point a finger at any reason why Carolina is in this football game, up in this game in the 4th quarter, it's because of that kid right there, D. Brown. As you see, the career high 122 yards for him today.
Fasani goes out. Rodney Peete back in at quarterback. The pitch to Brown. And Brown doesn't pick up much as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Does V stand for Vic or valuable in MVP?
Victory, I'll tell you, because getting a lot of wins for that Atlanta football team.
They need the 18-yard line on 3rd down. D. Brown far short of it. Going to be stopped about 9 yards shy by Dwayne Rudd. So a stand by the Cleveland defense.
That was a smart play by Rodney Peete, Kurt, just going to the check down. You down here in this area do not want to throw it into the teeth of the coverage. Good coverage downfield. Win underneath. Keeps his team in position to get a field goal. And look at the time of possession.
Look at how even it is.
Yeah.
Same number of plays, 1 yard difference between the two teams.
This game really is even up and down both sides with all the numbers.
So this will be a 45-yard attempt from Shane Graham, who made his last one from 43 away. And it's up. Hooking. Good. And so Shane Graham comes through once again and extends the lead to a touchdown. It's 13-6. Well, so far Carolina has done a good job of handling the ball after a turnover. All 13 of their points today have come off turnovers by Cleveland. Andre Davis stopped right at the 28-yard line by Corey Minor on the kickoff. And so Tim Couch, 2:46 left to play and no timeouts.
Got to throw it.
The clock will stop once again at the 2-minute warning, but he's down by 7.
Got to throw the football, Kurt, and look at with only 2.5, 2:46 left. How much of the middle of the field do you want to go to? I mean, I still think you need to exploit that area because that's been the soft spot for Carolina defensively all day long. But at the same time, you want to put your receivers in position, Kurt, so they can get it out of bounds.
Do you give them the middle of the field because you don't want them stepping out of bounds?
No, I don't think you give them the middle of the field because they'll pick up big yards in a hurry.
First down, just shy of the 29. Couch, quick pass. Kevin Johnson towards the middle of the field. Going to be close to another first down. Reggie Howard with the tackle.
Good adjustment there from Kevin Johnson. Man coverage, run a slant.
Less than a yard to go. Second and short. They hand it off to Mel White. He gets the first down out to the 45-yard line. Reggie Howard with another stop. So they move the chains, trying to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning here. Couch from the shotgun. With time, upfield, intercepted, and then dropped. And scooped up by Kevin Johnson. He takes it into the end zone for the Cleveland touchdown. Can you believe it?
Oh, Reggie Howard had the interception. Says that he was down. Let's take a look here as Couch again throws right into double coverage. Cover 2. You see help from the safety. Got the ball. He's dead. Wait, I don't know.
No one ever touched him while he was
Nobody
down.
ever touched him, Kurt, but did he have that football?
That's the question.
Was
Did
it
he
an
have
interception?
possession?
Yeah. I don't know that he ever had possession before he fumbled that ball. See, 1. Brown caused the fumble. Nobody ever touched him.
Right.
Has not been touched.
Well, the other end of this is that Kevin Johnson was out of bounds.
Then came back in.
You can't be the first guy to touch the ball
Right.
after being out of bounds. Oh, you know this is going to be challenged, and because the ball was snapped before the 2-minute
ball.
warning.
They're telling Foxy to look at the jumbo up top.
Well, because the ball was snapped before the 2-minute warning, this is still on the coach to call the challenge. It does not go up to the replay booth until the 2-minute warning has been called, which hasn't happened yet. So right now, Carolina on the sideline. He's discussing whether or not to challenge it. We'll be back. Confusion still reigns here in Cleveland. No official call made yet from our referee, Walt Coleman. But they have moved the ball back to the 45-yard line, which would lead you to believe it's called an incompletion. But let's see what Walt Coleman says. Here's another look at the play.
Clearly, Kurt, it looks like it's going to be an incompletion because he's not giving him the interception. Said he did not have control. Now, if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, forget it, because Kevin Johnson cannot be out of bounds, be the first guy in and pick that up and run it into the end zone. So
they give them the ball back at the 45-yard line. It's now second down.
And Cleveland lucked out on that one.
Incompletion was ruled. Couch to the air, bobbled, and that one is picked off. Emmanuel McDaniel, his second interception of the game. 5th turnover by the Cleveland offense. And as you might imagine, the Browns and their fans are upset after having what they thought was a touchdown taken away, and the next play being a pick.
Look at Emmanuel McDaniel and Andre Davis. It's going to get with him on the crossing route, stays with him on the little bit of a rub and pick, and now watch him close the gap and pick up speed. Ball was behind Andre Davis, and Emmanuel McDaniel just takes it off his shoulder. Davis has got to catch that, but Emmanuel McDaniel makes the bigger play. Of course, it all started with the throw from that guy being behind Andre Davis. He leads him out where that ball needs to be. No chance of that one getting picked off. Carolina now, Kurt, lining up in the victory position.
And the Carolina Panthers on the verge, if they hold on here with 1:40 left to play and Cleveland owning no timeouts, of snapping the longest losing streak currently going in the NFL at 8 games.
Got to really like their effort and the way they came up and played today with all the distractions. I mean, 3 arrests in the last couple of weeks, of course, with Steve Smith and Chris Terry getting released. Now Lamar Smith given a leave of absence. I mean, that's 3 of your starters. 2 are now off of the football team. And you come in and play hard like they played today and get a W.
Rodney Peete takes a knee as we approach the 1-minute mark. And this was a game that Pete managed, but Jack Del Rio, you see him there, the defensive coordinator, has to be proud of his defense, giving up only a pair of field goals and creating 5 turnovers.
Fantastic today, just getting after it. And that's what they needed to do. It's what they did early. It's what they need to do late. And you find out a lot about your players, Kurt, and you really find their true colors when you're going through these types of adversity and situations.
Well, you see the standings. Cleveland, we will give them a loss here. And Pittsburgh, last we saw, was up 25-23 on Jacksonville. About a minute left to play in that game. Should that score stay the same, Cleveland will fall a game and a half behind Pittsburgh in the AFC North, with Julius Peppers and the Carolina Panthers end that 8-game losing streak, and it'll be a happy ride back to Carolina for them.
See the remaining schedule there for the Cleveland Browns, and got a couple of tough ones there. And every game's tough in this league, but I'll tell you, as I mentioned, Kurt, they got themselves in the fight. They lose a round today. Let's see if they can stay in it for the stretch run.
So Carolina's defense creates 5 turnovers, 3 sacks, and they get all 13 of their points off turnovers as they knock off the Cleveland Browns 13-6. For my partner, Tim Ryan, up next is the Fox Sports Office Depot Game Break Show with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. For more information on